It is such a frightening time. Questions like, when is this gonna end? Could I possibly have COVID? What's gonna happen next? These are just few of the questions we ask ourselves every day. And sadly, until now, we still don't have an answer. One of the most common battles we encounter in this pandemic alongside COVID is obviously anxiety. This is Fernandez-Fabian, and welcome to Conversations with Christine. Today's guest is a registered psychologist with a master's degree in psychology, major in counseling in Ateneo de Manila University. He is an assistant professor at University of San Carlos Psychology Department, and he now attends the clients for assessment, counseling, and therapy at Rainbow Playroom. Niel, Steve, Kintanar. Join us as we discuss the impact of anxiety in this pandemic. And this is our conversation.
Hi, Niel.
Hi, Christine.
Hi, Niel. How are you?
Surviving, coping well.
Amen.
Not really flourishing, but coping. I guess that's the right.
Yeah, we are all surviving, and
right.
Things have not been easy for many of us, especially for all the Cebuanos, regardless of which class you represent. I think we all have our own struggles. We go through different difficulties, and we experience all sorts of emotions, whether it's fear or worry. I think since the quarantine started, since the ECQ started up until today, for almost 4 months, majority of the emotions have really been about fear, worry. Right now, as a professor and a practicing psychologist, Neil, I've been curious about this disorder some would probably call this one the next pandemic after coronavirus. And this is anxiety.
Right.
I just want to share to you the reason I was inspired to have this conversation is because I went through the same phase. I'm not sure if it's already a disorder or something. I hope not yet. But, different on and off, because of the fear and uncertainties. That's why I wanted to share also to the viewers who are watching so that we can help them somehow. Finally, Neil can shed light to everyone who's going through the same emotions. Roller coaster ride. Emotions. Yes, that's right. So, Neil, let's go to our first question.
Okay.
Define anxiety. What is anxiety, and what triggers anxiety?
Right. So, anxiety is really an adaptive response of our body. Okay. So it's a natural response, no? So, but it's telling our body that something is wrong in the environment. So, anxiety is really primarily an emotional response. Okay. So what is wrong with the environment? So it means that, like right now, it means that there is fear. There is uncertainty. Okay. We are unsure. Okay. So what happens when there's fear? Our tendency is really to prepare for it, to run away. Right?
Is that the fight or flight? No.
Yes. I'm going to say that. It's a fight, flight, or freeze response. Diba? So, ang fight, you fight back. Ang flight, you run away. Or you freeze. May mga ibang tao talaga during that moment, they can't move or total blackout. Parang they don't know what to do or how to solve the problem.
Right.
So, but again, these are adaptive responses to what is going on. Okay? So, we feel disappointed because our goals were not met. We plan for the future, but it all changes. So that's a natural response. If we feel sad because we prepared for it, we prepared for the future, we planned, and then it didn't happen. So it's telling our body that hey, conserve energy because you need that energy, right? And sometimes we feel disgusted. We feel disgusted by some leaders, by some of the government, and then
Frustration.
frustration, or even some of our friends, no? Who we have different opposing views. So when we feel disgusted, it's telling our body to spit it out. Then a lot of times we feel anger also. No? Anger, it's telling our body, it's telling us that, we've been stepped upon. It's time to fight back. Okay? So, fear, okay, it's telling our body to run away. So, anxiety naman is really based on fear. Okay? So, and that is a natural response of the body. Sometimes, though, there will be an excess, no? Over tayo sa fear na sometimes it might not be a realistic fear. We call it an irrational fear.
Irrational fear.
Meron din tayong mga cognitive responses to anxiety. So we create scenarios in our minds. What if? No? What if? So ito yung mga cognitive distortions natin. And sometimes that's the root of the anxiety, no? So cognitive component, yun siya. So once, di ba, natural response siya, but sometimes excessive yung ating response.
OA, di ba?
OA, yes, that it disrupts functioning, meaning we cannot move anymore, we cannot work, we cannot maintain good relationships. We don't want to go out of the house.
Or we want to be alone.
You just want to be alone because you're fearful that something will happen. Okay? So it disrupts functioning. You cannot create new goals. And also number 3, it gives you so much distress. There's an excess, disrupts functioning, it gives you personal distress. If that is all present, most probably it becomes a disorder. From a natural response, masobraan, it becomes a disorder.
So like, is it a time base na if this goes on for more than a month, or is it time based? Now we can really diagnose that an anxiety is already a disorder and not just an ordinary response?
Right. On a normal situation, most often than not, 6 months or more. Okay? But the problem now, we cannot count.
Tapos ka na.
We cannot count kasi kung when nag-start.
Right.
Right? It's like, ito yung problem with COVID because it's still ongoing. Unlike, for example, there's a big typhoon or an earthquake. You know the impact event.
Right.
Right? So you can count from the impact event 6 months. But ngayon, ongoing.
And you don't know when it's gonna end.
When it's going to end. So it's difficult to count. Right? So, for now, maybe the timeline might not be a good indicator.
Okay.
Diba? So we will look at the other things, like there's a disruption already of the things that you can do.
Okay.
You are not productive anymore as with work or with your relationships with kids, with family. You are not productive, or you're suffering a lot of distress already. Okay. So eventually you might have an anxiety attack. Okay. Or a panic attack. No, it depends.
Is there a difference between panic attack and anxiety attack?
Yes. An anxiety attack, it's really more built up over days, over months.
Yeah, I just want to share, because I already accepted, even before I was probably diagnosed of having anxiety attacks, because I read. So what I noticed is the triggering factors, like when it happens, the moment I get that trigger, I don't realize that it was actually a trigger. And then let's say it starts to manifest after a few hours or maybe the next day. So, and then I experience some physical manifestations already. So speaking of physical manifestations, what are the common symptoms of anxiety?
So increase in heart rate.
Yes.
So that's one. Cannot sleep. Okay. Disturbed sleep. Cannot concentrate. That's another one. always feel tired or fatigued. The muscles are tired, and then irritable. No?
Okay.
Irritable ka, restless ka.
Yes.
Okay? So yun yung mga... And then, ito, meron kang startled response.
What is startled
Dali kang
response?
maigting.
Okay.
And then hypersensitive ka, you're always on a lookout.
No?
No?
How about hyperventilation?
It could be, but...
Because that's what I went through.
Yes, it could be, but that's already in the moment. Parang nagka-anxiety attack ka.
I see.
Right. Okay. So, ganon din yun sa panic attack, no?
Okay.
But ang panic attack, may difficulty breathing, may choking. You want to choke at that moment, pounding heart.
Okay. Now, if you are to relate it to COVID right now, Niel ba? Because some people, I know of some people who are actually mirroring the symptoms. Their anxiety is somehow mirroring the symptoms of a person with COVID. So even if they were not exposed to anybody, they're just at home, but they're coughing, or sometimes they have difficulty breathing or shortness of breath, which I actually experienced somewhere around April. So it caused me more anxiety na hinoon. So
right.
Is it
So, nasa yung mga psychosomatic na component. No? But of course, yung mga psychosomatic, that's a whole different disorder din if it becomes worse.
Okay.
So, yun nga right now, because we are in a pandemic, we'd always say that these are normal response to an abnormal situation.
Okay.
Because really, now is a stressful situation. And then, we experience anxiety because we are under stress.
True. Now that many of us, not just the Cebuanos, but the whole world probably is getting anxious of this whole coronavirus, this whole pandemic. The question now is, if you are there, how do you fight or manage when there is an anxiety attack?
So we have to understand where is it coming from, diba?
Okay.
So meron din kasi tayong mga genetic factors. So some people are really prone to be anxious compared to other people, right? Yeah. So kapag genetic factors yan, baka we might need help also from psychiatrists or from doctors, medical doctors who can give us anti-anxiety medication. Okay. It's important to talk to them and to talk about how strong your anxiety is para ma-manage din yung dosage. This is where psychologists could help, no?
Okay.
One root of anxiety is the way we think. These are the negative belief systems that we have, or the automatic negative thoughts, or ants, we call them ants, that seeps into our mind. So this is where psychologists would come in, because we'll help you identify these cognitive belief systems that hinders your well-being. You see, our thoughts influences our emotions.
Right.
Our thoughts influences our actions. It's not our emotion that influences our thoughts.
Right.
So if you think of happy thoughts, syempre your heart will be more calm. Okay? Or if you think of negative thoughts, catastrophizing thoughts, syempre your heart will be anxious. So change the way you think, and it will change the way you feel.
But there are times that it's so hard to bounce back when you're at the height of your negative emotions already.
Yes, no? Naka-spiraling down tayo niyan. Okay? So it's difficult for the mind to stop thinking.
Right.
The mind never really stops thinking. It's a continuous consciousness. So that's why we divert our thinking to other things. We engage in healthy distractions. Okay? So sometimes we watch rom-com so that we will be distracted. K-drama. No? Prayer actually also works. But sometimes counting from 1 to 100 is very easy.
True.
It's automatic. So we give it a challenge. Count in a multiples of 7. Kasi di ba, when you do that, napapaisip ka. You are forced to think differently.
Shifting of your mind, of your focus.
Of your thoughts.
I see. Okay.
Right. So that's what we mean by engaging in healthy distractions.
Okay.
We can shift to gratitude also.
Amen.
Okay. What are you grateful for today? So studies have shown that who are those people who benefits most, or what do we do in a pandemic? People who are cheerful, who are zestful, okay, they would do best in a pandemic. So one suggestion of a psychologist, a positive psychologist, said that what we can do is really, as much as possible, enjoy the moment. We live in the moment. Okay? So we savor the moment. Kasi
despite the chaos, despite the chaos around.
Right. So as much as possible, while in quarantine, let's have fun in being in quarantine.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's have fun but hindi magpabadlong.
Dili magpabadlong. Of course, we still follow the minimum health standard.
True. Okay.
Right. So another suggestion is always to engage in healthy habits. Right. For example, we need good sleep.
Yes.
Okay. We need to maintain that. Balikan natin yung ating sleeping habits.
Okay.
Because sleep is very important because it heals the body, it heals the mind. Now, a restful body, a restful mind is a good mind.
Wow, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah, yun talaga yun, no? We'll keep our body active and exercise.
Okay.
Ayan, yun yung mga healthy habits that we need to engage in. Okay. It's to be kind.
To be kind.
Right, and to be
altruistic.
Yeah. So, sabi nila, studies have shown that the easiest way for you to be happy is to be kind to someone else. So, to help other people, to be altruistic. So, if you have time to volunteer, it's not necessarily the grand things. Just talking to someone, helping someone out.
Call a friend.
Helping that friend will uplift your mood.
True.
So, altruism, engage in altruistic behavior is actually...
Okay, what prevention. Are the things you can do to prevent anxiety attack?
Siyempre, meron naman talagang mga triggers tayo. Okay? So, meron naman talaga tayong mga triggers. And social media, because of the news. So, tama. Na if we can avoid that or set a schedule for it, so maybe we can set that in the morning instead watching news, listening to news, maybe better in the morning than in the evening.
Okay.
Right? So usually naman we get to meet them. How do we avoid it? And we can use a lot of gratitude also, the appreciation between family members. And sometimes if abuse talaga.
May question kasi in terms of anxiety attack,
right.
In terms of anxiety attack of every individual, so the basic thing that they can really do to prevent it from happening is really avoiding the news and the social media, right?
It's one, yes.
Yes, it's one.
So, but a lot naman kasi now it's about the news of the social media.
Yes, and avoiding toxic people.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
And then yung mga negative thoughts, you have to deal with them also. Okay, know the triggers, and then number 2, yung idea like magse-self-process. Bakit ako affected nito? Right? Bakit ako affected nito? What does it say about me? Okay, I triggered my belief system that I might die soon. Okay?
Or I might get sick. Or I might get the COVID, ganon.
Right. And how about, and then, sunod-sunod, if I might get sick, who will take care of the kids? Who will take care of the family? No? So, somehow we have to identify it and then cut it in the bud. You have to cut it. You have to make a decision that, hey, I will have to cut it. This is not healthy anymore. Stop it. For me, and another tip really on how to prevent it, create small goals.
Okay, that's nice.
Create small goals. Because
example.
Really, example, learning how to cook. And then exercise. I've been jumping rope. I just set 30 minutes a day. And then I was just committed about it. So setting small goals. Even reading a book. Okay?
Right.
But it's preferably more active, no? Even watching a series, TV series, no? But mas gusto natin more active though. So i-vary lang natin. So if you're more cognitive, natapos mo na yung goal na yon, then maybe let's do another one that's more physical.
Okay.
Okay,
so Niel, before we wrap up this conversation, do you have any special message, especially to those who are still, even if we're going through the 4th month already, we're entering the 4th month, do you have any message for them who are struggling with, whether it's diagnosed or not, struggling with anxiety?
Acknowledge it. Go with the flow with it. Okay. And if you are ready, try to make some new goals. Try to talk to other people. Help. Engage in healthy distraction. Okay. Part of what is happening is that we need how to cope. Okay. But we also need to live with it. Meaning, even if there's pandemic, we need to learn how to live with it and conquer. Live our life despite of, regardless of.
I love that. Live your life despite of, regardless of. And we will, no matter where we are right now, for as long as our goal is to prosper wherever we are planted, then everything's going to be okay.
Yes.
Right? Oh, thank you very much, Niel.
The hopeful thinking.
Amen. Thank you so much, Niel.
I had fun.
I really had fun. But of course, I know at the moment to all our viewers right now, a lot of them are interested to seek help. As you said, don't hesitate to seek help. After accepting, don't hesitate to seek help. And for sure, now that you're here, many of them would want to contact you. Is there any way that they can reach you?
You can contact me at nsmkintanar@usc.edu.ph, or you can find me in Facebook, Niel Steve Kintanar, and then we can just message there. I have a clinic. I'm connected with Rainbow Playroom. Our clinic is in Escario, but for now it's closed. We're doing online right now, Zoom, video calls and chats. Okay. I prefer to do video calls because I want to see the facial reactions also of the person that I'm seeing.
Amen. Okay. Thank you very much, Niel, for answering all our questions. And I'm very sure that at the moment, a lot of those who are wondering and curious and probably shaken already of what they're feeling, probably right now they're feeling much better because they know where they are or what they're feeling, and most of all, they know you already. And thank you very much for all the helpful tips about anxiety. Thank you, Niel. Thank you. I'll see you around. I'll see you after this pandemic. Mwah. Thank you.
Yes. Wow.
To all of us who are in this battle, please take courage and be strong. I know it's difficult and it takes conscious effort to find the beauty and recognize the blessing amidst the crisis. But please know that it can be done. Believe that it can be done. Thank you so much. And please don't forget to like and share this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you on the next Conversations with Christine.